Hey guys, my name is Emily. I'm a senior rider at Motorsport and I'm here in Prix on the border of California and Nevada. Lucky for me, I have got someone giving me a ride into Vegas.
Should we go for a drive?
Let's do it.
All right. You ask her what is an apex and you ask me what is the cell's brain?
So thanks for the ride to Vegas, Liam. How's the drive been so far from California?
It's been good. It's been not too bad. There hasn't been too much traffic. I always enjoy driving out here, I think just because of how big it is. I'm spending a lot of time in London where it's very tough to drive 2 kilometers down the road, so.
Did you drive a ute back in New Zealand back in the day?
It's funny that you say ute, yeah, that's what people call them.
A pickup truck?
A pickup truck, yeah, a ute. I mean, the thing is our utes are half the size of this one, so I didn't actually, I never did. I only ever drove like cars, I would say. Yeah, this is my first time driving pickup trucks, but I fell in love with it. Like, yeah. This is like my favorite vehicle to drive ever. As a daily driver, it's really, really good.
And when you guys are road tripping, what snacks are we eating? What have you stopped for so far today?
In-N-Out.
Yeah, we go.
You like that?
I normally do it at least once when I'm here.
Yeah.
It's not ideal for a race driver to eat, but it's my cheat meal. It's In-N-Out.
Are you a big In-N-Out fan, Hannah, as a Californian?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm a big In-N-Out fan. Fun fact, first time Liam ever had In-N-Out, he hated it.
Yeah,
really?
Weird.
Yeah.
Super weird, because then every single time since then, I've absolutely loved it.
What do you go for?
Double, grilled onions, no tomato.
Okay. Animal fries?
No way. I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah. What about music on the road trip? Are you guys similar music tastes? What have you been listening to?
Country all the way for me.
A lot of country.
Anything else is just.
It's funny. I never listened really to country music before dating Hannah, and now I listen to a lot of it, and I play a lot of it as well because I play guitar. So I play a lot of country music. When we first started dating, it was one of the things I was always like trying to learn country songs.
Yeah.
To basically impress her.
What sort of artists?
Morgan Wallen mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any Post Malone, given we're in the F-150?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially now, like his latest stuff is very country, which is cool. So definitely play a bit of Posty.
I mean, speaking of your music career, if you will, I know you've recorded some songs in the Red Bull recording studio. Do you write your own music, or were you recording covers?
I was recording covers, but because it was like done. You know, the guys that I play with are a couple of my really close friends. We got together the night before and basically just put together a couple of songs and then went and recorded it. So it was done very last minute. When I was younger, I wrote songs, but I mean, I was like 12. Not even. I was probably not even that. I was maybe 10 or 11 years old. But I would love to. I would love to do more with music. It's just, I mean, to be good at anything, you need to put a lot of time into it. And at the moment, it's obviously more of an unwinding thing, like a enjoyable thing to do, not so much something that I'm going to put a lot of time into.
Yeah. When you were 10, what were you writing songs about? What was inspiring 10-year-old Liam?
I can't even remember. Honestly, I can't remember.
Was it? I guess you probably wouldn't have had love interest back then. You were pretty young.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was being pretty obsessed with girls since I was very young, so I probably wrote songs like about my crush in primary school or something like that, I don't know.
Hannah, what's your review of Liam's music, just the covers that you've heard? What's he like?
Well, when he was like 12, he wrote a song with the title Pain.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So there's that, yeah.
I must have been going
that's about
through
it.
in primary
Just one
school.
word, Pain, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Watch out, Taylor Swift. You've got a songwriter.
But you know when you're a kid and everything's just 1,000 times more dramatic than it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's probably one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also saw you vlogging for a while, speaking of your side hustles. I guess it's taking a bit of a backseat at the moment.
Yeah, I've just got a little bit busy recently, so yeah, I think it's something I enjoy doing it. It's just for me, honestly, with anything I do, I want it to be like really good or maximized. Like I don't like to do anything that's not done properly. So same with like the music stuff. That's why I never released any of it, because honestly it was done so last minute that although it came out really cool, I know that we can do a better job with it. And it's the same with the YouTube stuff. Like, I enjoy doing it, but I don't want to post videos every 3 weeks and like on real random days and not have them fully put together. I'd like to do it properly. So maybe when I get a bit more structure going, we'll do some more of it, because I thought it was cool.
Maybe in the off season one day once
Maybe
you've
in
got
the
a bit
off
of structure.
season, yeah, for sure.
I'm curious about one particular photo that's been a bit heavily memed, if you will. If I mention a photo of a young Liam who looks like he's just woken up, do you know what photo I'm talking about?
You know, I wasn't young. That was like you mean the one of me like looking like I'm absolutely wasted?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so that was
It's because he was.
yeah, I was. And I don't drink. So I'll drink once a year, and that's on New Year's. And it's mostly because of that. Honestly, that night, it was 2021. It was after DTM, so after
Right.
Norris Ring, and after I got absolutely smashed out and lost the championship in a really horrible way. That night, basically, I went out and I hadn't drank all year, obviously, because I don't drink, and it was just not a good idea. So my friend, he basically took that photo. I didn't even know he posted it. And every year it keeps coming back out.
Yeah.
And obviously this year it's come out even a lot more. So he thinks it's hilarious, but yeah, not my finest moment.
Speaking of DTM, do you have any standout memories from your time with Alex Albon that you look back on fondly?
Honestly, probably a lot of the testing stuff that we did away from, because we did a little bit more testing than we could actually do sort of official tests here and there. So those were like, testing is when obviously it's real relaxed. You're going away, and you obviously stay in the same hotel, so you quite often go to dinner together or something like that. And it was that kind of stuff, very relaxed, not really, not as serious as a race weekend. So obviously then, he'd come out of F1, he was with Red Bull the year before. So for me, I was asking a lot of questions, obviously, because that's where I wanted to go. So
Yeah. So shifting gears a bit, Hannah, you're about to graduate with a biomedical science degree. So I thought we could test Liam on a couple of basic science terms, and Hannah, we can ask you a couple of F1 terms.
that's a good idea.
Cool. So Hannah, I'll start with you. What is the apex?
That's like the center of like the turn, right? That's like the top.
The top. The center was closer. You're actually kind of right, yeah.
I think, yeah.
No, you go, keep going.
Well, I don't know how else to explain it. The center of the turn.
How would you describe the apex?
Apex is it's kind of the center of the turn. It's kind of the center of the turn. It's where you are like aiming for.
See, I got that one right.
But the apex is not always in the center as well. You can have a late apex or an early apex. It's where you are aiming. Man, I don't even know if I can explain the apex. It's the center of the turn.
I think I
Yeah.
gave the
You got
best
it right.
explanation.
We got there.
Yeah.
All right, Liam, this one's, I think you can get this one. What's the mitochondria?
The what?
I know he doesn't know this. There's no
The
way.
mitochondria?
That's not a real word.
It's a real word, and you
The
might have,
mitochondria.
yeah, you might have heard it in like a social media kind of.
I have absolutely no idea what that is. Like, not even a little bit.
How would you describe it, Hannah?
These are actually some pretty good questions. Like, I might not even know some of these. It's like the cell's brain, basically.
What?
Like the center of a cell.
You ask her what is an apex, and you ask me what is the cell's
Honestly,
brain?
I think I learned about the mitochondria when I was in high school. I don't even think I learned about it when I was in
I
college.
Okay.
didn't really go to high school.
I thought, like I've definitely seen the memes that say like mitochondria is the powerhouse of
Yeah, the
of
powerhouse
the cell. So I
cell.
wasn't sure if you'd also seen those. All right, Hannah, back to you. What is a chicane?
Oh yeah, no, I don't know this one.
You don't know this one? What?
It's like not like a, I'm gonna say a banked turn.
A chicane?
A chicane,
on,
like
baby.
a,
Not even close.
oh.
I'd say you're kind of in the right direction.
She's not even close.
It's a
to
turn of some sort.
It is a turn of some sort. That is.
Maybe,
How would you describe what a chicane is?
A chicane is like, it's a right left or a left right. It's like a.
oh, so it's like an S thing.
It's an S. It's like an
Okay.
S. So like, but A chicane's normally much tighter, smaller left-right. Like a quick left-right is a chicane. It has to be like quite a fast, small
Okay.
left-right.
Okay.
Okay.
You were close. I'll give you. You were in the right direction.
But you didn't get it. Just
I'm still doing better than Liam.
You're
Alright.
at 1, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Liam. This could be a simple one. What is a cell?
I don't even know how you would describe that, honestly.
What is a cell?
It's easy.
I know that many cells make up us, right?
You're not wrong.
So it's like a very small, like a cell is a very miniature, like a very small part of you. I don't know. How would you describe a cell?
What in this world has cells?
Everything.
So the road we're driving on has cells?
Maybe not. No. Every living thing has cells.
Okay. Very good.
The road
Yeah,
has
that's
atoms,
good.
right?
What?
The road has atoms, like everything has atoms.
Yeah, everything is
Everything
atoms,
has
yeah.
But cells are just living things. Okay.
Good.
and you were kind of, essentially, they're the smallest unit of living matter. So I feel like,
That's what I said. Basically what I said.
yeah. Okay, we'll give that one to you.
Okay.
All right, Hannah, do you know what DRS is?
Yes. It's where you press that button on your steering wheel, and because I see it on your onboard, and then the wing goes down.
No.
Wait, or the wing comes up.
When it comes up.
Wing comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
actually, it depends.
But it
on
makes you go faster.
It
And it's
actually-
only
you're-
and it's only open at certain points
Well done.
during the race.
Do you know
Like on
what
the
point
track.
it is?
The straights.
How do you get DRS? Like, what do you have to be?
Being within a second behind the
Well done.
person
Good
in front of you.
job. Do you know what it stands for?
Oh, I know this one. Drag reduction system.
Let's go, Hannah.
Is that right?
That's
Hannah's winning this game.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think you get 2 points for
I
that.
do my research.
Yeah, she's listening.
Yeah.
I did
Drag
see.
reduction system. You literally got all of that.
Well, because if I didn't know some of this stuff, then when I would watch your races, I would just honestly be freaking out even more.
It is true that since we started, like when we first started dating, obviously she didn't have a clue about anything. She didn't even know what Formula One was. And since then, you have learned a lot. Like, you
Well,
have been,
I make it a point to ask you a lot of questions about
yeah, you
things.
do ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. I did see something about when you started dating. You didn't know what a manual car was.
She didn't know that
yeah.
was a thing. That was only recently as well. We were in New Zealand at the start of this year.
That was kind of crazy.
And she didn't know what a manual car. She didn't know cars came in manuals. Like that wasn't a thing. She's like, I've never seen that in my life. It's what's the third pedal for?
I'm not even going to defend myself on that one.
That's okay. I
I think you get 2 points for that though.
That was impressive. Okay, I've got one more for you, Liam, but I do feel like your questions are a bit harder, so I apologize. Do you know what a nucleus is?
Yeah, I do. Nucleus is it the center of an atom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's
right.
That's pretty spot on. Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
I
Good
mean,
job.
what can I say? I only went to high school for like a year, and then I left. It's true, and then I left. It's funny because in my high school, my science teacher was really strict. So if any subject I was half decent at, it was actually science, believe it or not.
Wow. Well, you know what the nucleus is, so they did something right.
Yeah.
What was the very first thought that went through your head when you found out that you had the seat on the grid?
Finally, I would say it was just like it was more relief than anything. Like I don't even remember being excited for a long time. Like I remember being excited the week before Austin, but everything up until that point it wasn't really real, and it was just a lot of relief because it's just been a long time of obviously being in a reserve position and trying to get a seat. So a lot of relief, but obviously very happy as well.
You mentioned that you knew for a little while before it was officially announced. What was it like keeping that secret? Were you in stealth mode with your friends and family?
The thing is, it was talked about for a long time, and I think because, to be honest, I don't think the team knew exactly, what they were going to do. So it was clear to me that I was most likely going to get a seat somewhere, but I just didn't know where it was going to be or how it was going to work, or even if it was real. I was obviously just believing it. But so there was that period before I was told where that's when I couldn't really talk to my parents because they were also waiting, and I couldn't keep calling them and telling them, you know, I still don't know, still being decided. So I just waited until it was, you know, literally, you know, told to my face that then I called my dad. It was like 3 a.m. in New Zealand, and the phone barely rang. He picked up straight away. He was wide awake and waiting for it. So it was pretty cool.
He must have been absolutely stoked for you.
Yeah, it was cool. It was, I mean, it's been a huge amount of work from so many people, but obviously it started with me and my dad when I was very, very young, and my family have given up like everything for me to be able to do this. So for them, it's also, very important.
Has stepping on the grid full time felt different at all from when you filled in briefly last year?
I get to run my own number, which is probably the most different part and the coolest part. But other than that, honestly, no, because I think whenever you're in F1, you're being evaluated, especially when you're in your early years of F1. You know, the way our contracts are and the way the teams are sort of judging us. You know, we have performance clauses. We're always under pressure, and you're never really safe. So we're always being evaluated. And I think last year I was being evaluated, and I was trying to get a full-time seat. Now I've got a full-time seat, but I'm trying to stay in Formula One. So it's just the same kind of thing. We're obviously trying to achieve the best results, but I don't think the mindset really changes. It doesn't feel too much different.
And next season we're seeing our first real shake-up in quite a few years. Lots of rookies on the grid. What does it feel like to be part of that new class and almost like a new generation coming into the sport, if you will?
I think it's very cool. It's very cool for Formula One. I think it's been quite a long time. That's maybe since we've had this. I think, well, not a really long time. I think the last time we had a selection of rookies come in was when Lando, George, and Alex and those guys came into the sport. I think, it's really cool because the last couple of years has been a period where the teams are really only trusting really experienced drivers. So now that we're getting the opportunity, obviously it's pretty cool. It's good for the sport, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And out of the guys on the grid, who are you sort of closest to? We talked about Alex being teammates with him before. Who do you normally go to?
I think Alex is somebody that obviously I know very well because we raced alongside each other. But I think, you know, within the Red Bull family, I've been here for a couple of years now as well. So it was nearly 6 years actually. So I think Max has always been very good to me, you know, over the last couple of years as reserve. So is Checo, and then obviously Yuki I have a lot of history with. We go back from years ago. So I'd say in general everybody's been pretty, you know, welcoming, let's say, you know, coming to the grid, especially last year filling in. I think that surprised me a little bit.
I think I've heard you talk about Max saying that he would kind of watch you when you were in racing in other series, and he would kind of come and talk to you about that.
I don't think it wasn't like he was keeping an eye or anything like that. I think he just was watching that many races, you know. He just liked motorsport, let's say, and watched that many series that he happened to watch a lot of my races, and it was something that I would come back from a Super Formula race and he would talk to me about it, about something that had happened, and I'd be like, dude, why were you watching that? Like, you know, which was really, really cool, honestly, especially, you know, when I was first a reserve, you know, everything in Formula One, I was very wide-eyed and sort of getting used to everything that was happening, and to have Max sort of talking to me at that point was quite cool. I took a lot of advice from him.
So we're obviously driving into Vegas from California. You're obviously spending a bit more time there. What do you like most about it?
About Vegas or California?
Sorry, about California.
About California?
Yeah.
The weather. The weather's definitely the best part. I think so after Brazil, I was in London for a week, and I basically didn't see the sun once. Like, it didn't even come through the clouds. I remember every day it was cloudy and it didn't even come through the clouds. And then it's obviously the same season. It's winter time here, and the sun is obviously out every day. Obviously, you know, every country has their perks, but I think that's what I enjoy the most about here is probably the weather. It's very good. Yeah.
I believe you guys have dogs in California as well. Hannah, is that your family's dogs?
Yeah, Enzo,
Enzo, big birdie.
Will we ever see them in the paddock, Leo Leclerc style?
Maybe. The problem is Enzo's massive. He's like 80 pounds. So if
he's
we ever
a big
brought
boy.
Enzo to the track, he would be his own person. But yeah, I think we're both, big dog people. I think we really like big dogs, and I grew up with big dogs.
He's a big bear.
He's a big bear. He's
to
so
say
cool.
the least.
Very cool personality. So maybe we'll get him in the paddock one day.
And speaking of California, you guys have been to Disney quite a few times.
Yeah.
What's sort of your like go-to spots in Disneyland now that you've been a few times?
The go-to spot is Cars Land. Is Radiator Springs. Have you been?
No.
Oh,
I need to go.
Have you seen the movie? You've seen the movie,
Oh, of course.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, I mean, it feels like it's to scale in terms of if you were actually there in the movie. I swear to God, it feels like. Does it not feel like it's to scale? You're like you feel like you're in it, and the detail is very, very good. So, yeah. I mean, for me, that movie was a big part of why I became a racing driver when I was a kid. So it's I know it's fake, obviously, but in my head, it's real when I'm there. So,
Cool. Well, speaking of the Cars movie, I thought we would test your knowledge a little bit of some Cars quotes. So I'll read part of a quote and you'll complete it. So we'll start with, float like a Cadillac.
sting like a beaver.
Yes. 1 winner, 42 losers.
I eat losers for breakfast.
Bingo. Focus, speed.
I am speed. That's so bad.
All right. Fly away, Stanley.
Be free.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, I only got one more. This one might be a little bit trickier. I must scream it to the world, my excitement from the top of someplace very high.
A real Ferrari.
Close.
Something like that. A real Ferrari
Yeah.
in my garage, or
Do you know many Ferraris?
do you know many Ferraris?
Yeah,
Oh.
a classic Luigi line.
Yeah. Damn, my man. I'm gutted I didn't get that. But I did watch the movie recent, like a month ago, basically.
Yeah.
So, well, just less than that. It was a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah.
Hannah, how many times have you had to sit through the Cars movie?
More than you'd like to know.
To be fair, I don't make you watch it with me that much. I'll just watch it. It's something that it's more of a me time. Watch it like on my own.
Me time. Okay.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
Hannah, I had a couple of questions for you. I'm curious sort of what it's been like coming into this world, walking into the paddock. What's been the experience like for you?
Well, the first day that I came in with him was on Friday of Austin, and that was like the first time you were really driving where I came with you. And he told me that there might be a couple of cameras when we first walk in. There was not just a couple. There was a sea of cameras, honestly. So that was a bit overwhelming. And
She was
then
so funny. She wouldn't even walk next to me. She would like give me distance. I'm like, get over here.
honestly, I don't even think I smiled. I don't really know what happened. It was kind of, it was just overwhelming. I mean, Austin was a little bit nerve-wracking, but now, Mexico was fine. Brazil was nerve-wracking, but that was because of the circumstances. Because you basically couldn't see anything, and it was just,
She's actually very good for, especially now coming in, a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff being decided, and managing schedules and stuff that the team actually go through her quite a lot, to be honest, to get hold of me or to organize something, which I'm very appreciative of, honestly. So, yeah.
Yeah, can you speak, I guess, to sort of what you're saying about the importance of having a supportive partner? Because so often we hear from athletes and they wouldn't be able to do it without the people behind the scenes who are supporting them.
Honestly, it's huge in terms of not just there's the that side of it where basically you get a huge amount of support, and obviously I do with Hannah, but there's also just the mental state of an athlete, of a pro athlete in any sport. It's very intense. You spend a lot of time away, and even after a day at the track, for example, if it's a brutal day, or whether it's a great day or whether it's not a great day, just coming back to a hotel and just being able to completely reset and take your mind off it is really really important. It's something for me that I never really knew, never really had that or knew that so much, which I'm realizing a lot more now, which is also very helpful.
Now, coming into Vegas, coming down the strip, what are you most looking forward to about driving here for the first time?
I would say just like the spectacle of it, driving at night. Like right now, you can see obviously all the lights and stuff like that. I feel like I'm honestly not even going to notice it when I'm driving. Like I think I say that now, and then I'll be looking obviously at driving related stuff. But I think in my head, that's what I'm most looking forward to. But at the same time, these weekends are very much, every weekend's very much like the next. And although the locations are different and it's really cool, the importance is just the same as in any other race. Obviously, we're always trying to do the best job we can. So that's like where the focus is. But I'd like to say that I think I'll enjoy the experience of driving down the strip in Vegas as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hey, we're on the track.
Yeah.
This is the track, baby. Like, this is the...
Oh.
Putting
Yeah.
in purple
You see the walls?
sectors.
Purple sectors, yeah, literally. I wonder if it's smoother than last year.
You've not raced around this track before, have you?
I did drive it. with Terry Crews
Oh.
and Kylie Minogue as well. Minogue, my bad. Yeah, that was sick. Both super cool people.
What were you driving? Like, what car were you driving?
A Mustang.
Cool.
I was driving a Mustang, so it was good fun. Yeah.
Has anything changed about your, I guess, routine or mindset when you did get the call up to the seat, or were you already sort of race ready when you were in the reserve role?
I think I was always race ready, but I think, there's a thing called race fit, and that comes in multiple races, and you're always learning more. So I knew, although I felt ready for Austin, there's always things that I'm going to, learn from. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be things I'm going to get better at. So obviously we're still improving.
Speaking of race fit, did the diet have to change much, or were you already?
Honestly, no. You get way better food as a driver, which is what I missed stepping back in a reserve. Is like when you're a driver, you have the whole weekend is like structured out in terms of exactly what food you get. It's brought to you, and like when you're in meetings and stuff like that, and you're just always eating, and I love food. So I was like, and it's really good food as well. So when I drove last year, I was like, wow, this is sick. I'm getting all this really cool food. And then you step back to reserve and it's gone.
Wow.
So that was what I was stoked about coming back in. One of the things.
What's on the menu?
It's very healthy. I mean, it's all very healthy, but it's just like, your proteins, carbs, veggies, everything's set out like to the T. It's very accurate.
What's on your Vegas bucket list, if not during the race week, that you guys would want to do at some point when you come back?
Well, I've been to Vegas
Yeah.
like 100 times in my lifetime. So, Liam,
I've been once, and that was last year.
do you know what Magic Mike is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
I
don't
thought
wanna
you.
see
I,
that.
I thought you wouldn't know what it was, and I was gonna like trick you into saying you wanted to go to Magic Mike.
Did you have a little gamble last year, or?
No, never. I never have. It's funny. I have a couple of mates that are like well into it, and they think it's the most fun thing ever. And I maybe I would if I tried, but I have zero motivations of doing that because honestly, I think I would be hopeless at it.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever see a New Zealand Grand Prix on the schedule? I've heard the tracks have left a little to be desired.
They're probably going to be upgraded a little bit to FIA standard. So I would say probably not, but something that I would be very hopeful for, and whatever I could do to make that happen, I would definitely do that because I think it would be very, very cool. We have some really cool tracks. My favorite track in the whole world is in New Zealand. So if we could bring that up to FIA's sort of grade A or whatever we call it, the standard, then
What track is that?
Highlands.
Is that in Queenstown?
Yeah, it's close to Queenstown.
Cool. What do you miss most about New Zealand, having been away for so long now?
I think how chilled it is, like how, especially outside of Auckland. Like I like Auckland a lot. It's where my family is, but it's very chilled. I think what I enjoy about California a little bit and about where Hannah's from in Newport is that I like this in New Zealand. I like to be able to just decide, you know what, I'm just gonna get in my car and like go for a drive and go either to a coffee shop or to a wherever, and like it's gonna be like quite a cool drive, and you get that everywhere in New Zealand because a lot of the roads are pretty good. Like I like that. That's something in that I don't really get in London. Like to go anywhere, it's a bit of a mission.
What car do you drive in London?
I have a Supra. It's just my car that I've been modifying the last couple of years, and it's now completely impractical. And and I don't drive it anymore. I don't actually have anything in London right now, but it's a Toyota Supra.
What pushed it over the edge? What was the final straw that you realized this is
Lowering it to the ground.
I mean, that was one of the first things I did. It was just everything together. Yeah, the turbo is the biggest thing now. It's got a big, like a massive turbo. So it makes crazy horsepower, and it's in New Zealand, and actually in Australia as well, it's the same. We have like JDM, sort of Japanese car culture is very popular.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I just grew up with. So with the Supra that I have, I've tried to keep it very sort of JDM Japanese style versus going to, like European sports car stuff.
Thank you so much for giving me a ride into Vegas. This was a lot of fun. Best of luck this weekend. Thank you guys.
No worries. It's been cool. Nice to be back and excited for the weekend.
Fantastic. We'll have a good one.
Thanks,
Liam.